Hi everyone, welcome to another monthly update about my LED projects and where I tell you what I worked on and what comes next. And there's actually quite a bit of exciting stuff to talk about today, so let's directly dive into it, shall we? So let's start with the LED project that I worked on for quite a while now, and that's the glowing stripes. I finished up everything and made everything open source. So now you can just visit the GitHub repo of the glowing stripes and see all the 3D models for the 3D printed parts. And also you see an instruction of how you can build the glowing stripes yourself if you'd like to. I also totally encourage everyone to just take the glowing stripes and build something on their own based on it if they like to, or further improve the project. So yeah, that's the first LED project. So now let's talk about the project I worked on the most this month, and that's the glowing tube. Basically, kind of the same idea like with the glowing stripes, just better executed. So having like LEDs that you can put on your wall, they glow really beautifully, but which you can also extend to make them longer, like adding multiple tubes above each other. And yeah, I basically took all the learnings from the glowing stripes and learned from them basically. So this time, instead of having aluminum profiles, I have like an acrylic tube where inside we have like an aluminum tube where the LED strip is put on. And at the bottom we then have connecting parts that we can then connect to the wall. And yeah, I basically completely finished the design. I also completely printed the case parts for the wall mount. And the only thing that's remaining now is finish designing and then also 3D printing the case for the power supply and the other electronics. Yeah, this is, by the way, also the first time ever I work with a power supply that's not some like micro USB or USB-C port. Yeah, so it's also quite interesting and also important when it comes to powering a lot of LEDs, where USB is definitely not an option anymore if you're working with hundreds of LEDs, for example. Now let's talk about the glowing arms project, the LED wristband for dancing that where I started working on an improved second version. There are some updates as well. So I continued making a design where I also 3D print the tube where the LED strips come in. My goal was really to create some kind of tube that feels kind of like with the Apple Watch, where you wrap it in a way that it stays stable on your wrist even when you're having it partially open, so it doesn't directly fall down because of the weight. And I tried to recreate that and also then 3D printed that with some flexible resin. However, I'm not sure if I just used the wrong settings for the resin, but the result was like a print that was partially failing. Mostly it worked fine, but the material itself was just so easy to break, and most importantly, I realized that I used the wrong resin because I got one that's not transparent, but slightly bluish transparent, which is of course completely, yeah, it doesn't work for the purpose, where it really cannot change the colors of the LEDs too much. So that's a bummer. But yeah, my plan is to continue work on the glowing wristband and make a design with the current T7 microcontroller based on the ESP32, which is going to be perfectly fine for like a simple version that just works fine. And in the long run, basically kind of like a version 3.0, I also want to build my own custom PCB. To make it even more compact and only have the parts inside that I really need. And yeah, this is also going to be an interesting introduction to PCB design. However, it's kind of a big and complex topic, so it's not my number one priority at the moment. So yeah, I will just see like what the next months will be like, and then also probably try PCB design, and in the long run also design one for the glowing wristband. So there's one addition I have to talk about when it comes to the glowing tube. This is a German company where I basically got the acrylic tubes for. and I have like a wide range of all kinds of cool acrylic stuff, which is really great for LED projects. And then I realized like, hey, they have these acrylic tubes that, diffuse the light really well in all kinds of sizes. And actually I chose one of the smaller ones, but they also have them much bigger. So what could I do with like the biggest tube they have, and how could that look like? And out of this, I started building the glowing tower. Basically a standing lamp that you put on the ground in your living room or wherever in your home basically. And the nice thing about having this 16 centimeter or so thick acrylic tube is that by putting LED strips in the middle of it, you have like a completely seamless LED look from all sides. You don't see individual LEDs anymore, you just see this really nice glowing effect. And it works, it works really, really well. And it's a really beautiful lamp for at home. So yeah, that's what I started working on. I finished the design, got the acrylic tube, and it looks beautiful. And then I also, finished printing the bottom part where the power supply also comes in, which also fits perfectly well. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to finishing up this project in the next few days and then having a beautiful LED lamp standing in my room. And yeah, it's great for just, setting a nice mood in the room. Of course, that can also react to music, so it's great for as a party light, home party light. And yeah, a new project that I really, really like. And I'm gonna finish it in the next few days. So stay tuned on the final result. So, and last but not least, I want to talk about a big change for the next few months and in my life. And that's going to being completely self-employed and working on my LED projects, not just as a hobby anymore, but to also start building LED projects for friends and other people who contact me who want to get LED lighting for at home or their business, and I'm really looking forward to that. And the good news is that I also already have people who contacted me and who said they're very interested in LEDs, that I build LED projects for them. So I hope that's a good sign for the beginning. Of course, I need to see how it continues in the next few months. But basically, my plan is to have this combination of building LED projects or LED installations for people and their businesses or at home. And at the same time, also the projects that I do build, I make open source, and so I'm also going to sell them on Etsy. So basically, everyone who just wants to build it themselves, because for makers, basically, they can totally do that. And those who just want to buy the finished product, they can also do that easily. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to where that leads me to. So yeah, to summarize what comes next in September, I finish and publish everything around the glowing tube and the glowing tower, including making tutorials on how you can build both yourself, with what materials and in what steps basically. And also gonna see that I build a new working version of the glowing arms project, the LED wristband. And besides that, I will work on LED projects for people who want to pay me for that. Really looking forward to that part as well. And we'll see what else happens in the coming month and what other project ideas come up. So yeah, hope to see you in the next monthly update, and up to then, have a good time. Bye.